Neuro-linguistic programming (NLP) will help you conquer your fears, excel at work and change your life. NLPSuccessToday.com, the life-changing report. In this report and at NLPSuccessToday.com, I'm going to reveal to you strategies that will help transform your life easily, quickly and forever. Other information. This report is free. You are free to give this report away as you wish. The only conditions are that this report must remain completely intact, without being altered, and you cannot claim ownership of this report. NLPSuccessToday.com, expecting your success. TM 1. Who can benefit from NLP? The numbers of people who are benefiting from NLP are quickly increasing as more and more people start to understand that NLP can be applied to a huge variety of situations in life. Just some of the individuals who can benefit from NLP include: anyone who interacts with other people, in other words, everyone. Anyone who wants to eradicate unwanted habits such as addiction, drinking, smoking, overeating, etc. Anyone who wants to learn and truly master the art of persuasion. Anyone who has the desire to dramatically improve their ability to connect and interact with others. Anyone who is searching for a way to accomplish personal growth. Anyone who wants their past to no longer hold them back from achieving their goals. Anyone who wants to be the best they can be. And anyone who wants to get far more out of life. So as you can see, there is a wide and varied range of situations in which you'll benefit from NLP. And it's a fact that the people who commonly benefit from NLP actually do come from a diverse variety of different backgrounds and interests, including parents. Those who harness the benefits of NLP are often able to feel more comfortable and at ease in modeling the behaviors that they would like their children to copy. Additionally, they are likely to feel more comfortable interacting with their children and in developing, and demonstrating, practical skills that will help their children with problems at school and any learning and social difficulties. Educators and trainers. Anyone in the education or training field who wants to understand more about the strategies that truly help people to learn in a more effective manner can benefit from the use of NLP. Students. Regardless of what stage you're at in your education, NLP is for you if you're interested in learning how to integrate new methods for effectively handling the pressures of the learning environment, as well as learning how to benefit from the learning process in a more direct manner. Mental health professionals. Mental health professionals can make use of NLP in order to learn how to provide themselves with better care while also giving their clients new and improved insights and skills. Medical practitioners. By using NLP, medical practitioners can discover how they can establish a better rapport with their patients while also gaining an insight into the part that beliefs can play in the patient's health. Managers and business people. NLP can be utilized to improve communication skills while also building teams that are stronger and more resourceful. Salespeople. Salespeople will gain the ability to build rapport with clients and prospects in a more effective way by understanding the needs and expectations of the clients. They will also learn how to position their product or service in order to meet the desires of the clients as well. Entertainers and athletes. Anyone involved in the entertainment field or athletics can gain from NLP by learning how to improve their focus upon their desired goals, making use of their inner resources and identifying the strategies that will not support the goals they wish to achieve. 2. Background to NLP. A biography on John Grinder, NLP co-founder. John Grinder is the co-founder of Neuro-linguistic programming with Dr. Richard Bandler. He is a graduate in psychology from the University of San Francisco. He served in the U.S. military and also the U.S. intelligence agency. Then in the late 1960s, John Grinder received a Ph.D. in linguistics from the University of California, in San Diego. John Grinder distinguished in the field of linguistics, especially in the area of syntax. He was later appointed as a professor of linguistics in the newly founded University of California, in Santa Cruz. He has many books to his credit, and some of his exceptional work can be seen in books like On Deletion Phenomena in English 1972, and Guide to Transformational Grammar, 1973, among various other articles. Grinder proceeded to develop a new field called neuro-linguistic programming along with Richard Bandler, who was then a student of psychology. It began when Bandler invited Grinder to participate in his therapy groups. Grinder was fascinated by the ways in which the therapists used their linguistic patterns to give effective results on their patients. This led John Grinder and Richard Bandler to come up with the neuro-linguistic programming model. This was derived from the theory of transformational grammar and the language patterns used by effective therapists like Virginia Satir, Fritz Perls, and hypnotherapist Milton H. Erickson. The model of NLP was developed more by using various books published by these therapists, which became a foundation of neuro-linguistic programming. John Grinder has co-founded many other books on NLP and its techniques and applications. People from all over the world have greatly benefited from the NLP techniques in improving self-confidence, which has led them to successful personal and professional achievements. The NLP model came as a boon to many people who lacked certain qualities that are required to be successful in this competitive world. John Grinder along with Richard Bandler have created a relatively unique technique to make your mind work into positive things and achieve what's best for you. NLP teaches you techniques on self-improvisation and also helps you gauge the personality of the people around you. It's important that one has his or her thoughts, feelings, words and behavior in perfect coordination to give out the required results. Once your thoughts, words and actions are in alignment, you'll be in a better position to get your message across to your audience in an effective way and most importantly in the clear way you intended it to be. 3 NLP tips to achieve personal success. NLP techniques are becoming more and more popular in improving personal and professional relationships. Our success depends a lot on how good we are with people and how we handle challenges we face in any given circumstance. Whatever the case, we all need to deal with people, whether it is in our personal or professional life. There are many NLP techniques that will help you improve on pretty much everything. But the main criterion is to follow them carefully, and only then will you be able to put them into practice and get success from them. Some NLP techniques, for instance, help employees excel in their careers. These techniques are a great way to boost an employee's morale and help them achieve the excellence and position that they deserve. 3 NLP tips are given by trained professionals in neuro-linguistic programming or from online courses. They can have quite a lot of experience in teaching the NLP techniques to their students or trainees. If you have the opportunity to attend one of the free NLP training sessions or use an online course, then you should make the most of it, as it is one of the best ways to learn techniques to improve your career and achieve personal and professional excellence. You can get all the free NLP tips you need by going through numerous ebooks on NLP online, but the only way you can implement them is by interacting with others. Free NLP tips work well if you have had some hands-on experience in attending a NLP workshop, NLP practitioner program, or have used online NLP courses. But if you minutely follow the descriptions given, then you can definitely bring about changes in the way you interact with people, which will help you climb the ladder of success. There are many free NLP tips that you can take advantage of from numerous online sites. Some of the most popular NLP tips you'll learn are making your goals more realistic, learning to have good eye contact, how to build instant rapport with the people around you, learning to view the same situation in different ways, NLP for children to excel in school, and so on. By learning these techniques and more, you'll change the way you look at things, giving you an upper hand in dealing with situations well and tactfully. Improve your personal skills with neuro-linguistic programming. In today's competitive world, one can succeed in their career only if they are par excellence. This is true for any profession, whether you are a corporate executive or you are an independent professional. Unless you deliver extraordinary performance, you will remain in the same position, possibly where you first started years earlier. So if you want to excel in your career and want to achieve personal advancements, you should undertake neuro-linguistic programming. So you'll learn to organize your thoughts, feelings and behavior in a better way. You'll also learn to read the thoughts of successful players in your profession or organization. Personal achievement is the key to success, and this can only really be achieved by NLP. Put basically, it is a technology for personal achievement, and it takes a little effort and training in understanding its modeling. Our success depends partly on how we build our relationships with our subordinates, colleagues and other co-workers. The same applies to personal relationships as well. If we can communicate well with our peers and read their thoughts, then we have won half the battle. The most valued aspect in any organization or in personal relationships is people. If we give prime importance to people and their needs, no one can stop us from having a successful relationship and career. NLP is beneficial not only in building our careers but also helps us improve our personal lives. Obviously we have to deal with people wherever we go, and if we manage to build a good rapport with people around us, we automatically climb the first step in the ladder of success. Human excellence and business excellence is the main motto of a NLP technique. This program has existed since the mid-70s. People have been actively taking part in learning the NLP techniques to excel in their career and personal lives. Neuro-linguistic programming works on the principles of practicality. It concentrates on the way your mind and brain works. Its essence is based on the belief that the brain works perfectly the way we have programmed it to work. That's why most of our actions are predictable. NLP helps us achieve excellence by changing our limited behavioral patterns. This helps us think in a broad perspective and gives us a different outlook on the large number of challenges we face in our personal and professional lives. Learn NLP for personal achievement. A genuine orator is the one who thinks, feels and says the same thing. Only then can they communicate exactly what they want. A person who is thinking one thing, believes in another thing and says something entirely different will never be able to communicate his or her message to others. People may learn how to maintain a body posture and gesture while speaking to others. They may have the proper body language while speaking with others, but maybe that's just about all. If your thoughts are different than your feelings and beliefs, then regardless of what you say or how effectively you say it, you won't be able to communicate what you want to others. The thoughts, words and actions need to be channelized to make communication effective. This is achieved by NLP, which you can learn in various ways. You can either attend training sessions or you'll learn NLP by reading one or more ebooks and by practicing the various NLP tips and techniques by interacting with others and observing their reactions. The last way to learn NLP is the best way, as it gives you hands-on experience on what you know. When you've learned NLP, you'll know how to interpret body language, gestures or even a look of another person. You can implement everything you learn in NLP sessions or ebooks in your day-to-day life and see the difference in the way people perceive your thoughts, feelings and behavior. You'll be amazed as to how a simple gesture can give you the exact meaning of what people are thinking. But not only that, you can collect a whole lot of information about other people just through your senses. You don't need to scan through people's profiles to know about them, you can just observe to get to know a great deal about them. How do you think some people can read people's minds? That's because they know the NLP technique and know how to put it into practice. NLP is essentially your brain's relationship with your actions. You will behave in the way your brain transfers the information to you given by your five senses. It's a fact that when you learn NLP you will be able to build a better rapport with the people around you, and that is exactly what you need to succeed in life, whether personally or professionally. So if you want to achieve success in your career or personal relationships, learn NLP and see the difference. Make your relationships better by using NLP techniques. How many times have you noticed a failure in your relationships, may it be marital, professional, personal or otherwise, just because of the way you communicate with the other person? This is a common issue with most of us today, and it makes things even more difficult than they are already. Learning the right way to put your words across is one of the things you'll easily learn from NLP techniques. NLP can help organize our thoughts, feelings, words and actions. Once these are well aligned, you can never go wrong and you are in a better position to influence people and build a rapport with them. By learning the NLP techniques, you can get on with the limitations in you and others and make life much simpler by understanding yourself, your feelings, behavior and actions better. This technique is beneficial in learning to do what others are doing well. For instance, you admire the success of your colleague and wonder how he or she has managed to be in the position they are in today. What is it that they do different to reach that status? With NLP techniques, you'll know what it takes to be a winner. Our nervous system makes it possible for us to understand what our five senses experience, which results in an unconscious behavior. In short, we act and react the way our nervous system transforms the messages received by the five senses for us. With NLP techniques, you'll be able to understand the unconscious thinking that leads to your behavior. NLP techniques are generally used for self-improvement and achieving excellence. But psychoanalysts trained in these techniques and other procedures also use them to get their patients out of traumatized mental states. For instance, if a person blames themselves for the occurrence of a bad event in their lives which may have been an accident, then the psychoanalyst uses NLP techniques to make the person understand that it is not their fault that the event happened. It's something that was supposed to happen, as if it were fate. These techniques help people to think reasonably and it puts them on the right track, resulting in reasonable behavior. NLP techniques can be used to improve your quality of life, your relationships with others and also to give you a better understanding of self. Get your message across as intended. Even the greatest orator, presenter or writer may find it hard to convey their message across to their audience the way they wanted. It's not that they are not good at what they do or did not communicate the right words, either in speech or writing, to their listeners or readers. It's just that sometimes people cannot comprehend the correct meaning of your spoken or written words the way it is meant to be and end up having a different or even opposite perception of your communication. This is not a deliberate act. It's just a genuine misunderstanding. So why does this happen? You'll get the answer when you look into NLP more, as this study tells us why some thoughts do not pass the right or intended meaning from the transmitter to the receiver. NLP shows us how different people have different ways of interpreting the same information, words or image and so on. For instance, X is petrified of spiders as he was bitten by a spider when he was young. So the moment he sees a spider he senses fear. On the other hand, Y loves spiders and even has one as his pet. He absolutely adores it. Now both X and Y are looking at the same spider, but X is frightened and Y is delighted. This is because their brain has transmitted the feeling of fear and excitement respectively. The processing of the information received by our sensory organs heavily depends on our experiences, opinions, value systems, biases and so on. So the thought process completely changes due to these factors from one person to another, and as a result people have different ways of reacting or behaving when they see, hear or read the same image, information or content. So even if a group of people have similar education, training, background and experience, they may still have varied behavioral patterns depending on how their brain perceives the information from the sensory organs and converts it to thinking patterns, which finally results in a certain behavior. When you experience some neuro-linguistic programming studying or training, you will be in a better position to know just how people will react to your thoughts, words or content just by observing them closely. In this way you can build an excellent rapport with your audience, which will eventually determine your success. A guide to personal improvement. We've all learned various subjects in school such as geography, history and mathematics, etc. All these subjects have been useful in enhancing our life in some way. They gave us knowledge of various things that helped when we needed that information. But have these subjects taught us how to have great relationships with people? Have they taught us how to feel good inside and be happy? Have they taught us how to be success in our personal and professional lives? Of course the answers are no, and that's where NLP applies. As said earlier, neuro-linguistic programming can help you change the way you think, feel and behave. Basically it will teach you how to look at things differently and come out as a winner even in worst-case scenarios. It will also enable you to do things in a better way to achieve success, to gain certain skills and attitudes required to do things you cannot do right now, as well as the benefits already highlighted of communicating effectively with people around you, managing your thoughts, feelings, words and behavior more effectively and much more. When you've accomplished some or all of these techniques, you'll be on the path to personal achievement for sure. Neuro-linguistic programming is a continuous learning process though. It is not acquired in a day or two just by studying e-books or articles about it or attending NLP seminars and lectures. NLP can only be truly effective if you then implement it by interacting with others and gaining feedback. You may or may not be successful in the very first instance, but you need to keep trying and improvising until you get the required results. Any failure does not mean that the techniques are not effective. Instead, they are only feedback that allows you to improve. If there are no failures, you will never improve. NLP is alternatively described as the study of success or the science of personal achievement, and rightly so, as this study of the brain is based on the aspects which determine the success or failure of human performance. The NLP modeling has evolved and developed over the years by studying the thinking styles and behaviors of highly successful people in various fields. Therefore it's a fact that these techniques will surely help you program your mind like a successful person. NLP, an effective model to transform dreams into reality. Are you trying to advance and become a big success in your career? But you can see your colleagues and peers climbing the ladder of success much faster than you are? In fact, are you barely managing to survive in the competitive environment? Do you question why you are not able to attain the success that you desire even after doing what you are required to do? If you want to enhance your career or achieve far more success in your professional and personal life, then NLP will be of major help to increase your self-esteem. Today many personal development workshops use these techniques with great success and incredible results. Neuro-linguistic programming has become the latest buzzword in the corporate world, where many multinational organizations are running NLP workshops for the benefit of their employees. If you ever get an opportunity to attend one of these workshops, I seriously advise you to grab it with both hands, as this could be another step up on the ladder of success if you've already taken steps by investing in a proven NLP course or ebook. NLP training sessions and workshops teach various techniques in building people's skills, self-enhancement, understanding self and others' thinking and behavioral patterns, rapport building and other methods which will help you deal with situations in a different perspective. NLP can bring huge changes in your life. Imagine what it will be like to connect and bond well with your subordinates and superiors and be able to deliver what is required from you without being told. It's a fact that you'll do all this by learning how to observe and understand others' thoughts and behavior. NLP is a structural science, or art, where you get to learn the thought process based on experiences, beliefs, value system and other factors. Your brain functions on the context of all your past experiences and transmits information by relating to the past in any similar present situation. Neuro-linguistics programming will teach you to balance your nervous system by aligning your thoughts, words and actions in a way that is practical and most acceptable to other people around you. This is the only way you can be successful in your professional and personal life. NLP, is it a science or an art? People who talk about NLP often argue whether it's a science or an art. One thing is certain though, all these people who know a thing or two about NLP never have any doubts on the use and the effectiveness of this subject. Practitioners of neuro-linguistic programming get excellent results, and it's a fact that if you try telling a hypnotherapist that NLP does not work, be ready for a barrage of counter-responses. This technique works exceptionally for hypnotists, hypnotherapists and psychotherapists. Ever since people started practicing neuro-linguistic programming, it has undergone some changes in subsequent decades. Today though, NLP is considered to be a big money spinner. Anyone with a decent degree of expertise in this technique can run workshops, seminars and training sessions on NLP principles. The audience interested in seeking information related to NLP is big enough for these professional NLP practitioners to be in business for a long time, enjoying sunny days where they make a lot of money. NLP, a brain's relationship with language and behavior. The neuro-linguistic programming model first came into existence when a linguist and a mathematician worked together to study the human brain and the psychology behind its functioning when it gets information from the sensory organs. This area of study is relatively different from and more advanced than many old behavioral psychologies, as it's the only study that takes language into consideration. Neuro-linguistic programming states that our brain is constantly radiating information and communicating with others even though we may not be aware of it. That's why many times we sense what others are thinking or vice versa. Our body language, facial expressions, eye contact and other simple gestures all depend on what our brain is thinking at that moment. There are many channels of communication and many expert orators use these channels to connect with their audience. When people feel an instant connection to a person, their speech, expression or gesture, they usually interpret it as that person being very charismatic. Neuro-linguistic programming realizes the significance of having a rapport with people in order to succeed in this competitive world. You can only accomplish success if you do more than just your work in your organization. Why do you think some people are climbing the ladder of success much faster than their peers or subordinates? It's because they have a natural flair with people. According to NLP, the way you use your language, either by words or speech, also determines how well you can connect with the people around you. Some languages have a limited vocabulary, and as a result, you may not be able to express your thoughts and feelings well by using that language. It may be better expressed in another language which has a broader vocabulary. However, any limitations in language can always be compensated for by other expressions such as body language, eye contact, laughter or other gestures. These are also ways of communicating with people. If your thoughts, feelings, words and behavior are synchronized, you are usually in a far better position to get your words across the way you intended. All these are taught to you in NLP techniques. NLP has its emphasis on language. And language, as mentioned, does not need to be spoken words, it can be written or gestures. With language we can make our dreams into reality. This is possible only if we share our thoughts and feelings with people through language. NLP, a science or art being practiced increasingly. Some time ago NLP was a selective concept. The reason that's said is because not many people actually realized how this technique could help them deal with their daily lives. As a result, you could find people using this technique relatively selectively. But over time, as principles of NLP started finding correlation with any domain that requires you to communicate, NLP was no longer a selective idea in principle. It's important to appreciate that NLP has found a great deal of use in all areas of business. In this competitive world where no inch is given or taken and where every piece of communication is considered critical, NLP enables the communication to be precise and clear. More importantly, using this technique allows a great deal of flexibility. Apart from people understanding their beliefs and limitations, people can be very flexible with their communication with the aid of NLP. In fields like sales, consulting, marketing and others where communication is considered to be critical to the implementation of work functions, NLP techniques have shown to be priceless. Even in a domain like healthcare where technical abilities are a must, the need for the patient to be comforted during the course of the treatment is also essential, and NLP techniques have managed to carve out a niche there. There has been a great deal of change in how NLP techniques have been used over the years. While in its early days, it was only used in places where communication played a central role in the work function, what you see today is slightly different. When you compare with what's happening on the healthcare front with respect to NLP, you would understand that NLP techniques can be applied even at times when they may not have a critical role to the work task. Overall, people should remember one thing: if there is a technique that helps them with their lives, it's worth grabbing with both hands. NLP does this, and there is no reason why you should ignore this. NLP and miraculous survivals. Have you ever come across or heard about someone who was in the advanced stages of cancer but miraculously survived? The doctors had given the person only a couple of months to live, and yet the person was still living 5 years later. On the other hand, a person who is not in the advanced stages of the deadly illness who is being treated with medication dies just within 6 months of detection of the illness. All this is arguably due to how the person perceives his or her illness. It all boils down to hope, which gives birth to willpower, resulting in what some people think are miracles. A person can ignite the natural healing power in their body if they are made aware of their unique possibilities and abilities. And this can be done by NLP. It's a fact that you can read about many examples of this. To reiterate, NLP is the study of the brain and the way it gets information from the 5 senses and transforms it into thinking patterns and resultant behavioral patterns. Not only does NLP help us to perceive our thoughts better, but it also allows us to get into the minds of others and relate to them in a better way. NLP can also tell you how to assume things in others to get effective changes in themselves as well as the people they are dealing with. It's a fact that NLP entirely depends on positive concepts. That is something that works as opposed to something that should work. Once you've read or listened to a good NLP course, NLP will be experienced only when you've put it to use on yourself and by interacting with others. You will experience the difference in your behavior, and others' reactions and feedback will help you know whether or not you are on the right track. Free NLP articles and resources will help you understand the basics of the study and techniques, but it's important to have some training and guidance from an online course, NLP therapist or trainer that is in a good position to direct you on the right path. But if you ever get a chance to browse through an NLP article, take the time to read and understand it so that you can make a difference in your life. It's definitely worth your time. How to improve personal performance. As said, neuro-linguistic programming is the study of the brain's behavior after getting input from our sensory organs. Every person has a distinct thought process depending on how their brain interprets information received from their 5 senses and how it transmits that information, resulting in different behavioral patterns in different people. NLP is a vast subjective field. Nothing is objective about NLP, as every human brain has a different way of thinking. Even if it means that people are from a similar background and have a similar education and value system, when they confront a particular situation they are very likely to react in a different way. No 2 people can think in exactly the same way. There will be a difference in their thinking patterns, which results in a difference in behavioral patterns. NLP Success. Today's introduction to NLP provides various different tools so you'll understand NLP techniques better. This NLP book and audio course makes it possible to study these techniques at home, as they are designed specifically for home-based learning. NLP Success. Today's introduction to NLP is particularly good for people who may not find the time to attend courses or training sessions. This fully descriptive NLP resource of yours explains how to implement each technique, helping you to learn NLP from anywhere. NLP will change your life when you learn how to use these techniques effectively in your everyday life. It will not only benefit you in your personal growth but will also enhance your professional capabilities. However, it can only be completely learned by interacting with others and getting feedback. NLP courses will help you understand the techniques, but you need to practice and implement them in your life to get the desired results. You cannot achieve much by just reading through articles, courses and attending training sessions on NLP, but by putting the techniques and methods into practice you can achieve more personally and professionally. NLP has been around for more than 3 decades at the time of writing, and it's becoming one of the most popular modes of self-improvement in many aspects of our lives. NLP Audios, an option to understand NLP. NLP helps you enhance your capabilities in understanding yourself and others in a better way. And it plays a great role in boosting your self-esteem, confidence, and also makes you into a positive thinker. All this reflects in your behavior, which helps in building a better rapport with the people around you. When you become good with people, then there are improved chances of success in your personal and professional lives, as people are the main asset of our society. When you learn the right way to deal with people, then nothing will stop you from being successful. To help gain the knowledge and learn the NLP techniques, you can go to an NLP therapist, attend NLP training, or you'll listen to an NLP audio course like NLP Success Today's Introduction to NLP, which teaches you the basics as well as the advanced techniques of NLP so you'll easily understand. An NLP audio is a good option for people who do not have the time to attend training and therapy sessions. It's also an economical alternative. It would cost you far more to attend formal training or therapy sessions. Instead, you can learn the techniques on your own and without even having to read them. These NLP audios are from reputed NLP trainers, therapists and professionals who give an insight into the NLP techniques and have also made it simple to understand. So a person who has no scientific background can easily understand this complicated process of the brain and its functions, thinking and behavioral patterns by listening to these audios on your computer, MP3 or from CDs. There are many aspects of NLP which are all covered in different NLP CDs. If you are looking to build self-awareness, want to heighten your spiritual conquest, want to step through your anxieties, or basically want to achieve personal enhancement, you can get all the knowledge you want with these CDs. The instantly downloadable NLP Success Today's Introduction to NLP audios also come with an ebook which covers the same information if you prefer to read it in detail. NLP certification helps you practice this science, or art. Whether you call NLP a science or an art, it doesn't really matter, but you must get NLP certification if you want to practice NLP techniques on others. The first things studied in an NLP certification program are the Fritz Perls models or Virginia Satir models. Just so you know, these were master psychotherapists of their times. What follows next is a deeper study on the Meta and the Milton models of behavior. Understanding these models is important from the view of understanding NLP from close quarters. More importantly, when you've got to grips with these models, you've set a good base for you to grasp all other concepts of NLP. A conventional NLP certification program then moves on to train you on identifying representational systems and accessing cues. Representational systems and accessing cues refer to changes in posture, breathing, eye movements and gestures that may indicate a change in mental processing. It is here that you would learn that every human reaction could be attributed and analyzed by employing the VACOG model. VACOG stands for visual, audio, kinesthetic, olfactory and gustatory reactions to an event. You would also know how to change the behavior of a person by changing the way he or she speaks. Any change management will be effective only if some analysis goes behind it, and here the analysis is done by accessing cues. However, an NLP certification program is not all about these things. The NLP certification programs offered by a lot of schools are well thought out and detailed. You would learn many more concepts on human behavior, the analysis of human behavior and the classical response models. By understanding all these concepts and models, you will be in a better position to employ NLP techniques in your practice. It's worth saying that many schools offer NLP certification programs. SuccessToday.com answering needs of urgency. If you spend some time researching NLP, you might find a big scientific definition of this term. However, many people haven't been able to solve the mystery behind the scientific explanation, when neuro-linguistic programming is a very simple concept to understand. When you visit www.successtoday.com, a leading website that offers information and services on neuro-linguistic programming, you'll unravel this mystery. You'll also see how NLP can be used as a technique to help you easily solve problems like phobias, depression and habit disorders. NLP as a technique can also be used for people to understand what their existing limitations are and, more importantly, learn the techniques to overcome these limitations. This website offers a wide range of information on how this is done. One of the most disputed facts about the use of NLP is that some people have correlated this to use in life coaching and management coaching. Basically, both of these domains deal extensively with the behavioral patterns of people, and a lot of what NLP does is explore and understand these patterns of people. The extent to which NLP techniques work in helping you with your professional life is a point that could be discussed elaborately. For now though, you'll easily learn the basics and more of NLP and how to unravel human behavior by reading or listening to the comprehensive www.successtoday.com course. In terms of value added to your career, this course could be one of your best ever. Any research you do on NLP techniques is likely to give you a lot of information. After all, this is one of the most hotly contested subjects around. One thing you'll know though, especially after all the reading you'll do on this technique, is NLP definitely helps in many aspects in our professional lives and our personal lives too. NLP tools, ways to self-improvisation. There is nothing objective about NLP, as we all have to interpret so many things that get transferred to our brains through our sensory organs. Based on this information, our brain or nervous system interprets it to our mind, and that's how we react or behave in a particular manner. The data transferred are not in singular form. There are thousands of inputs that go throughout nervous system, which results in millions of thoughts and actions taken. There are many interactive NLP tools that help you understand this program better. These NLP tools help you understand the relationship between the brain with language and our behavior. We are constantly radiating information and communicating with other people. This is what NLP tools help us to understand and grasp. As said earlier, there are many channels of communication. We don't just use spoken words to communicate with people. Experts in the subject have explained that we communicate through gestures, our eyes, body language, skin and even the muscles in our body. We now know why people interpret things about us or what we are thinking before we speak a single word. All these types of communication can be understood well and most importantly interpreted well when you follow NLP tools. This not only allows us to understand others in a better way, but also teaches us how to copy particular gestures and get our thoughts across without actually communicating with words. You may think that you are communicating effectively, but even so, some people don't perceive it correctly, and as a result they don't do what you want. Well, it's not entirely their fault. It could be a particular look or gesture you're giving that may drop a hint of something quite opposite to what you are actually speaking. So it's important for you to coordinate your thoughts, words and actions in a way that people will get the exact meaning of what you want to communicate. And you'll do this easily when you implement NLP tools. To summarize, NLP tools will help you understand yourself better, which will result in effective communication with others. Some more things you need to know about NLP. It's fair to say that neuro-linguistic programming can be used almost anywhere where communication is used. Where it's most important is allowing you to respond the way you want in certain circumstances. More importantly, using neuro-linguistic programming will help your responses to be clear and crisp. One of the best uses of NLP is in the domain of education. This is where the students need to know about learning strategies, whereas teachers need to constantly update themselves with developing strategies. Techniques advocated by NLP allow teachers and parents to equip students with the latest learning methods which help the students achieve more in school, and overall this contributes to a high quality of education. Often you will find people understanding their limitations, which cause them to be rather inhibited during certain events. By using NLP, people seek relief from these self-proclaimed limitations. Additionally, people can also use NLP techniques to overcome any fears, phobia, negative habits, and suggests newer ways of living. And by taking to neuro-linguistic programming, you'll find new ways of communicating and responding to essential things in life. You might have thought that medical science takes care of all a patient's needs when he or she visits a healthcare setting. And although technical abilities are obviously needed, doctors also require flexibility and interpersonal skills. This not only allows doctors to soothe any possible fears in the mind of a patient about a particular treatment, but it also helps to relate and communicate with the patients. Of course, the scientific aspects of healthcare are central to good quality healthcare, but you'll find that with the help of NLP, well-rounded healthcare will be provided. And the use of neuro-linguistic programming techniques by medical professionals during patients' visits helps them communicate better with patients, which in itself can be a challenge. 3. Neuro-linguistic programming methods. A variety of different methods can be used in the practice of neuro-linguistic programming. The aim of these methods is to gain insights into the psyche of the person so that patterns of behavior can be modified and so that certain goals can be accomplished, bringing about positive changes within that person's life. One of these many NLP methods which you'll read and hear about via the links in this report is visual or kinesthetic dissociation. Visual or kinesthetic dissociation, sometimes referred to simply as VK/DM. This technique is often used in neuro-language programming, and it depends upon the idea that a set of emotions are frequently linked to events in the past. With this technique, past experiences will be intentionally recreated within the mind of the individual in order to allow him or her to view those scenes from a more objective viewpoint. In fact, the scenes are played back through the mind of the individual in a similar way to a movie. And sometimes they may be replayed in reverse order. With this method, the individual will attempt to remove his or her involvement in the scene. Dissociating oneself from the event will help the individual to eradicate any negative feelings or emotions they may have about that particular event. So the individual is now a spectator as opposed to a participant. Anchoring. Another method that is commonly used in neurolanguage programming is anchoring. A quick definition of anchoring refers to the application of a sound, touch or gesture to a particular state of mind. In more detail, an example of anchoring that many people often experience is the way in which a particular smell or song can bring you right back to a particular time in the past. This method relies upon the way in which a person will commonly establish an anchor or form an association between a sound, sight, touch or smell and their emotional state of mind. Once that association or link has been created, each time that the individual experiences that specific external stimulus, he or she will immediately make a connection to the specified anchor. So as a result of anchoring, the stimulus can be viewed as a trigger for a particular feeling or emotional state. By using this technique, a therapist would be able to create an anchor intentionally within the patient so as to trigger a specific stimulus in order to help the patient achieve a desired emotion or state of mind. More details and 7 other vital neuro-linguistic programming methods will be revealed to you in moments in the resources available via www.successtoday.com. 4. Building rapport, including for improved sales. NLP can be used to establish rapport and build stronger relationships. Establishing rapport can be achieved by matching and then mirroring someone's expressions. This might include matching and mirroring the other person's breathing, tone of voice or gestures and so on. The skill of building better rapport can be used in practically any field of life. While it can certainly be helpful in the world of business, it will also be beneficial in your personal life, as you try to develop stronger relationships with your friends and family. So for example, when having a disagreement with your spouse or significant other, you could try to build rapport so as to reach an amenable conclusion to the conflict. It's also vital to learn how to build and establish rapport in order to avoid conflicts, get along with others more and generally have a more enjoyable life. Using mirroring and matching methods. Mirroring and matching is an excellent way to start building rapport with other people. In order to understand how to make the most of this method, you need to know that in most cases people tend to act, sound, look and even move like each other. By and large, we notice these similarities at an unconscious level and make an effort to get along with others. Therefore, mirroring and matching is in fact a completely natural method that is often not difficult to develop and use. There are many different ways in which we can establish rapport by using the mirroring and matching technique. You will discover more details in the resources linked to in this report. 5. Handling criticism successfully. Occasionally we all must deal with criticism. Although it's never pleasant, when you learn how to handle criticism in an effective way, it will help you to lead a happier life and also help you address areas in your life that may need to be improved. NLP can assist in handling criticism in a proper way. As we are often unable to view criticism in an objective manner, we are unable to handle it appropriately. We get too closely related to the situation and view it in a way that is too personal. We need to take ourselves away from the situation. The dissociative frame, which is explained clearly in the resources linked to in this report, is helpful in this respect because it removes the emotion, allowing us to observe the criticism objectively. There are 7 steps to handling criticism effectively. The first step. Firstly, remove yourself from the situation. This is achieved by entering a dissociative state. So make sure that you are seeing yourself from a distance. And remind yourself that you are not the person that is being criticized, instead you are a bystander or spectator. Step 2. Step 2 is to disassociate yourself from the criticism being made. This is often one of the most difficult parts of the process, and you may need to practice this skill in order to master it completely. Step 3. Now imagine that you are watching a movie and that it's not you that is receiving the criticism. Instead, you are watching it in the movie. You can even ask the person who is making the criticism questions in order to receive more relevant information for creating the movie. Step 4. Now it's vital that you evaluate the criticism that has been given. You will need to establish which aspects of the criticism you agree with and which aspects you disagree with. The final steps, 5, 6 and 7. This is just a brief report, but you'll read, hear and easily learn all the remaining vital steps in detail in the resources revealed by clicking the links in this report. 6. Steps to curing phobias and traumas. Situations in which dissociation may be used. This technique can be utilized in a wide and varied number of situations in order to bring about positive changes. It has been used over the years for treating phobias as well as for curing traumas. It is vital to realize that the personality we have today is as a result of our memories. By taking the opportunity to reframe our memories, reframing is defined below, we will be in a far better position to alter our personality and make positive behavioral changes within our present and future lives. Reframing refers to placing a different perspective on a person's thoughts regarding a situation. It's a fact that it's actually possible to eliminate any negative and hurtful memories from the past which may be holding us back and preventing us from achieving our goals and dreams. The steps to curing a phobia or trauma. 1. You need to focus on establishing an anchor that will draw the traumatized person out of the condition which has traumatized and troubled them. 2. Then praise the person for being able to recall the painful events. 3. Thirdly, you should direct the client to a time in their life when they felt safe and secure. Once again, the movie technique can be used for this purpose. 4. You need to ensure that the person is viewing themselves watching the movie, so that they are not actually taking part in the event. 5. Now, allow the person to recall the negative memory, but remind them that they are only watching it on a movie screen and that they are completely removed from the situation. Again, this is just a brief report, but you'll get and easily learn both of the remaining vital steps to curing a phobia or trauma in detail in the resources revealed via the links in this report. Be sure to check out the glossary at the back of those resources too, because this explains all the terms used very clearly and makes things very easy to understand. Summary. The methods described in this brief report generally shouldn't be used alone, but you'll easily combine them with the resources over at www.successtoday.com to produce extremely powerful changes to your life. When combined with those resources, you'll learn much more about how to easily achieve more happiness, better health and more success. Finally, did you get your free course Must Have NLP Basics and more hints and tips? Just sign up to the newsletter by sending an email here. It's easy, fast, and I'm pretty sure you'll discover at least one solution for your life. Philip Birchley. Visit www.successtoday.com. Art of Persuasion. Interpunct. Anyone who has the desire to dramatically improve their ability to connect and interact with others. Interpunct. Anyone who is searching for a way to accomplish personal growth. Interpunct. Anyone who wants their past to no longer hold them back from achieving their goals. Interpunct. Anyone who wants to be the best they can be. Interpunct. And anyone who wants to get far more out of life. So as you can see, there is a wide and varied range of situations in which you'll benefit from NLP. And it's a fact that the people who commonly benefit from NLP actually do come from a diverse variety of different backgrounds and interests, including interpunct parents. Those who harness the benefits of NLP are often able to feel more comfortable and at ease in modeling the behaviors that they would like their children to copy. Additionally, they are likely to feel more comfortable interacting with their children and in developing, and demonstrating, practical skills that will help their children with problems at school and any learning and social difficulties. Interpunct educators and trainers. Anyone in the education or training field who wants to understand more about the strategies that truly help people to learn in a more effective manner can benefit from them among various other articles. Grinder proceeded to develop a new field called neuro-linguistic programming along with Richard Bandler, who was then a student of psychology. It began when Bandler invited Grinder to participate in his therapy groups. Grinder was fascinated by the ways in which the therapists used their linguistic patterns to give effective results on their patients. This led John Grinder and Richard Bandler to come up with the neuro-linguistic programming model. This was derived from the theory of transformational grammar and the language patterns used by effective therapists like Virginia Satir, Fritz Perls, and hypnotherapist Milton H. Erickson. The model of NLP was developed more by using various books published by these therapists, which became a foundation of neuro-linguistic programming. John Grinder has co-founded many other books on NLP and its techniques and applications. People from all over the world have greatly benefited from the NLP techniques in improving self-confidence, which has led them to successful personal and professional achievements. The NLP model came as a boon to many people who lacked certain qualities that are required to be successful in this competitive world. John Grinder along with Richard Bandler of NLP. Interpunct students. Regardless of what stage you're at in your education, NLP is for you if you're interested in learning how to integrate new methods for effectively handling the pressures of the learning environment, as well as learning how to benefit from the learning process in a more direct manner. Interpunct mental health professionals. Mental health professionals can make use of NLP in order to learn how to provide themselves with better care while also giving their clients new and improved insights and skills. Interpunct medical practitioners. By using NLP, medical practitioners can discover how they can establish a better rapport with their patients while also gaining an insight into the part that beliefs can play in the patient's health. Interpunct managers and business people. NLP can be utilized to improve communication skills while also building teams that are stronger and more resourceful. Interpunct salespeople. Salespeople will gain the ability to build rapport with clients and prospects in a more effective way by understanding the needs and expectations of the clients. They will also learn how to position their product or service in order to meet the desires of the clients as well. Neuro-linguistic programming (NLP) will help you conquer your fears, excel at work and change your life. NLPSuccessToday.com The Life-Changing Report. In this report and at NLPSuccessToday.com I'm going to reveal to you strategies that will help transform your life easily, quickly and forever. Other information. This report is free. You are free to give this report away as you wish. The only conditions are that this report must remain completely intact, without being altered, and you cannot claim ownership of this report. NLPSuccessToday.com, Expecting Your Success. TM 1. Who can benefit from NLP? The numbers of people who are benefiting from NLP are quickly increasing as more and more people start to understand that NLP can be applied to a huge variety of situations in life. Just some of the individuals who can benefit from NLP include: interpunct anyone who interacts with other people, in other words, everyone. Interpunct anyone who wants to eradicate unwanted habits such as addiction, drinking, smoking, overeating, etc. Interpunct anyone who wants to learn and truly master the interpunct entertainers and athletes. Anyone involved in the entertainment field or athletics can gain from NLP by learning how to improve their focus upon their desired goals, making use of their inner resources and identifying the strategies that will not support the goals they wish to achieve. 2. Background to NLP. A biography on John Grinder, NLP co-founder. John Grinder is the co-founder of Neuro-Linguistic Programming with Dr. Richard Bandler. He is a graduate in psychology from the University of San Francisco. He served in the U.S. military and also the U.S. intelligence agency. Then in the late 1960s John Grinder received a Ph.D. in linguistics from the University of California, in San Diego. John Grinder distinguished in the field of linguistics, especially in the area of syntax. He was later appointed as a professor of linguistics in the newly founded University of California, in Santa Cruz. He has many books to his credit, and some of his exceptional work can be seen in books like On Deletion Phenomena in English 1972, and Guide to Transformational Grammar, 1973.